need to educate our children about all of these conspiracies of the West, all of these footsteps of the shaitan. No, should we be following the path of the kuffar and mushrikeen. We should not try to look like them, adopt their ways, adopt their appearances. This is what it means to do not follow the footsteps of the shaitan, as the Quran is clearly instructing us to keep away from that, because that is the path of destruction. As shaitan is our open enemy. So just as we remain firm in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the month of Ramadan, this needs to continue even after Ramadan. We should continue with the recitation of the Quran. We should not put the Quran away until the next Ramadan arrives. No, we should remain connected in the worship of Allah Azza wa Jal and recite the Quran on a daily basis. Read it with understanding. Read it with understanding and read it and recite it with the intention of attaining reward. If you do not know tajweed, how to recite the Quran properly, it is obligatory for all of us to learn the Faraid Ulum, and the learning tajweed is also essential. Just because you did not know it when you were a child and you weren't taught to read the Quran according to the rules of tajweed is no excuse to not know it. You're supposed to seek knowledge all the way. Seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. And if you do not know sufficient tajweed, then your namaz is invalid. I've repeated this many times. So those people who take heed, that Allah bless them, and those who do not, may Allah guide them. Because it is essential for us to learn how to recite the Quran properly, so that at least what you are praying in your salah becomes valid. Ma yujuzu bihi salah. Sufficient tajweed, so that what you are saying in your salah, because whatever we say and recite in our salah, it is in Arabic. It is not in Punjabi or Urdu or any other language. Some of us, we recite the Quran in Punjabi and Urdu and in Gujarati. Yeah? Instead of saying ashhadu, we say ashadu. Yeah? So then namaz is invalid. Jahalat is not an udhr. Yeah, if a person is still trying and he struggles, then there is double reward in the court of Allah for that individual. But how many of us are truly trying and striving to improve ourselves? So like I said, we should continue with our acts of worship. This life is temporary. The life is temporary, and just as we have been purified in the month of Ramadan, we need to remain in this state of purification. And this can only be done by striving. By striving to adopt taqwa. Just as when you have prepared and constructed a beautiful house, you decorated it, then you do not want that house to be ruined, to be spoiled with dirt and filth. Then Ramadan came to purify us, to cleanse us. Now we have to maintain that. We have to have istiqamah. And the Ahlullah say, al-istiqamatu fawqa al-karamati. That having istiqamah, having firmness upon the deen, having firmness in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in doing everything that Allah has commanded us to do, in abstaining from all those things that Allah has forbidden, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has forbidden upon us, to remain at a distance from them, to abandon those things indefinitely. If a person continues to do that, this is istiqamah, and this is above karama. This is a miracle. And there are many rewards for those people who remain firm. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when one of his companions came to him and asked for advice, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Qul amantu billahi thumma istaqim." But say that I believe in Allah, meaning that I have surrendered to Allah. Then remain firm. Meaning remain firm in your beliefs and in your actions. So this is what the month of Ramadan came to teach us, to remain firm. So we have cleansed ourselves. It reminds me of the story of once a dog had died and his body was found inside a well. In those days when water would be taken out from wells. So when they were removing and taking water out using a bucket, they noticed that there were hairs inside that bucket. So they went to the local Mulana Sahib and said that there is, it appears there is a dead animal, maybe a dog in the well. What shall we do? He said, remove all the water to purify the well. So they removed all the water and they returned to the Mulana Sahib and said, we have removed the water. And they said, is the well pure now? He said, park. He said, have you removed the dog though? He said, no, the dog remains there. He said, well, because the dog is still there, that is the cause of it being najas, of it being filthy. You need to first and foremost remove the object which is making it filthy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the month of Ramadan to purify us. So we strove to keep away from ghibat, from chugli, from telltailing, from backbiting, from slandering, from swearing, from from losing our temper unnecessarily, from being abusive, from using foul language, from all those things which are forbidden. We strove. As Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if you end up fighting with another Muslim brother, do not fight and say that I am fasting in Islam. So we are still a Muslim. So just as those sins are being removed from us and we submitted and surrendered.